You notice it when the charge hits your account. Same subscription, same service, same logo on the statement. But the amount is higher than it was last month. At first, you assume it's a mistake or a one-off. You haven't upgraded anything. You haven't added features. You're using it the same way you always have and mostly in the background. So why did it go up? You open the app. Nothing looks different. The interface is the same. Your settings are unchanged. There's no obvious explanation sitting there waiting to be found. Then you remember the email. It arrived weeks ago. A subject line you've seen 100 times before. We're updating your plan. Or, important information about your renewal. You glanced at it, maybe even opened it, but nothing jumped out as urgent. You were busy. You closed it. You moved on. Now the decision has already been made. The next bill arrives and confirms it wasn't a glitch. The higher price is still there. Clean. Confident. As if it's always been that way. You scroll back through previous months just to check your memory. You weren't imagining it. This really is more. Nothing about your behavior changed. Only the timing did. A few days later, it happens again. Somewhere else. A different renewal. Another familiar service. Another charge that lands without drama, but heavier than before. You vaguely recall another message. Another update. Another quiet window where something shifted while you weren't looking. Each one on its own feels manageable. Annoying, but small. The kind of thing you don't want to spend energy on. But together, they start to stack. The monthly total grows without ever announcing itself. That's when it clicks. These increases aren't designed to be agreed to. They're designed to be missed. The email isn't there to start a conversation. It's there to mark a moment. A line in time where silence counts as acceptance. If you don't interrupt it, the system moves forward on your behalf. Nothing aggressive. Nothing deceptive enough to cause outrage. Just enough information delivered early, quietly, and once. Long before the money actually leaves your account. By the time the charge appears, the decision is already old. You didn't consent at the checkout. You consented by not reacting weeks earlier. And the language is careful. Words like continue, stay on, no action required. Everything framed to suggest stability, reassurance, effortlessness. Doing nothing feels like the responsible option, so you do nothing. That's why this works across so many parts of life. Subscriptions, utilities, memberships, services you rely on but don't actively think about. The more embedded something becomes, the easier it is to change its price without triggering resistance. Because resistance requires timing. You feel the pressure later, when the money is already gone, when the renewal cycle has closed, when backing out feels like disruption rather than choice. And that's the uncomfortable shift. The cost didn't rise because you chose more. It rose because you chose continuity. You trusted the routine. You stayed predictable. You let things roll forward because that's what being organized is supposed to look like. But in systems built around renewals, doing nothing isn't neutral. It's the most expensive response available.